All right, hello. Thank you for viewing this brief. It's going to be really quick. So basically, the first page for this API brief is basically the add connection page, whereby there's going to be a field where a user can actually name the connection, and then choose add source. So basically, the Facebook, so it's going to be a drop down, but for now the drop down is going to be just Facebook ad as the field value. There's this thing that they can choose. Um, so what's going to happen is that once we choose add source, there's going to be three more inputs that we're going to get in order to enable the initialize, to want to initialize the Facebook Ads API. These are the three variables that are required. And then once this thing are filled in, and then we're going to have we're going to be able to do the next step, which is to choose an ad account, because all these things have been filled in already. And then, we're going to be able to pick the ad account. And then once I choose ad account, I should be able to then choose what fields and params that I want to include into my graph later on, the graph report. So in order to understand what fields and params are supported by the Facebook Ads API, is that you can go to the meta for developers, and then go to find marketing API, go to reporting, insights API, params, and then you should be able to find the supported parameters and fields, in order to make the code work. So anything that's not listed means it doesn't work, right? So basically, here is where I'm getting the fields and params that I need, and then the time range, whether it's 30 days, 70 or 90 day date preset, and then level and time. Level means how many, what is the information level, and I definitely want account level information, pretty much everything from the account. And then time increment is for the bucket. I just set this to 1, just maintain it to 1. Excuse me. So, and then once someone click add, what's gonna do is gonna save everything into the database. So basically, if this is built in Flask, then it should be done in PostgreSQL. If this is done in, assuming this is done in PHP, this should be in MySQL. But so whichever that works, whichever that tech stack that you're gonna use. Um, so um, and then what's gonna happen is the Facebook Ads API, once you start grabbing get the response, is in JSON format. So you're gonna pick the JSON format, and then you're gonna create the table, FBS account, and then with all the information that is required, and then commit changes and then close the connection. All right, so that's gonna happen. So once we add the connection, we're gonna go to the second page, which is the visualization page, where this is pretty much the data visualization that's going to appear once we have all this information in place, stored in the database. And then how are we going to make this visible is basically we're just picking up, I'm going to show the code later. There's a database code that we can, in order to fetch it. And then let's say in the future, I can also do the same thing. I can repeat this process, right, in order to create two connections, for example, which is going to be different account. So just now we were using first account, which is this account number, and then maybe I want to add one more, and then this is what's going to happen. Every time I need to be able to add connections in order for it to appear in the visualization page, and then I should be able to also alter whether I want it to add it or delete it, right? If I want to delete it, then it should only show one then instead of two, and if I want to add more, then, it's going to be showing more and more. So, in order for us to kind of make sure that the data is visualized, is that we'll use the same. So earlier, this is the code that we use in order to fetch the data, to either create connection, and fetch data from there. And then you can see here, once I get the variables right and everything, and then I'm going to do a query in order to do a select query into what kind of data I need from the FBS account table. And then I'm going to execute a query using Sequelio, and then converting it into data frame, and then use bouquet plot in order to enable widgets on the query. So basically, to make it interactive, I definitely want the widgets to be there. For reference, the library actually looks like this. So basically, the bouquet library has a lot of things that you can use. You can add a button, you can add a checkbox, you can add a color picker. So her sample looks something like this. So basically, I can just move around. See, it's very interactive, and I can also zoom in to kind of see what's going on. So this is the same thing, same feature that I want to add here. And then, so basically where someone can actually choose click, impression, and conversion, so they can choose whatever stuff that they want to appear here in the graph, right? So this is only for one account, and then we can also do more when there's more, right? So, all right, that's pretty much my brief. Hopefully, you guys get it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm always available on Fiverr. All right.